Go.
Okay. Hello, my name is Heaven-Leigh. I had this cup of culture assignment for my animal communications class. With this, we had to read a book or visit museums, stuff like that. Stuff to get you experiencing the different cultures. Well, I'm a small town girl from Hayes, North Carolina. We don't even have a stoplight in my town, so I've never really went out and experienced any kind of different cultures. I decided to read the book Winter by Rick Bass. Winter for me is we get maybe a couple inches of snow, then we go out and ride four-wheelers with our neighbors, and that's how we enjoy the snow. Then we go in our houses that's already heated for us. We didn't have to make fireplaces, and we didn't have to cook over fire stoves. We didn't have to do any of that. Mostly we rode four-wheelers in the snow. My dad, he cut a couple of woods, but that's just for farm use purposes only. It wasn't really because we had no other heat. I read Winter, Notes from Montana by Rick Bass. At first, I thought this book would be crazy. I was like, well, it's an assignment. I just need to get it done, get it over with, and go on. Well, half of this book, I was amazed by him and what he did, how he wrote, his experiences, what he was going through. All of that just completely swept me away. The first of the book, he talked about how him and his girlfriend Elizabeth was looking for a new start, basically. Well, they went and rented this farmhouse in Montana. They went, and with that, in Montana, degrees, it probably gets 40 below zero there. So he had a whole nother life. He had to get firewood. Elizabeth had to learn all the different ins and outs of the woman side of the winter. Well, with that, they had a lot of learning to do. Well, he talks about how he got the wood, how he learned how different things about chainsaws, how he had to wear boots, all this different stuff he had to go through. Well, in that, as I was reading, I never knew any of these things. That's a whole different culture to me. I was amazed by how much work and effort it put in, because here, we wanted to go cut a tree down. We just went outside, cut it, chopped it, stuck it wherever we wanted to, because we was going to burn it in a couple of days just for fun. There, they had to get piles and piles and piles of wood to survive the rough winters. He even talked about in his book how there was one-lane roads, how people had to get on radios and talk because of big loggers would come down the road and they'd have to pull over on the side of the road and stop at certain places. Stuff like that. We just don't go through stuff like that here. So this was a completely different experience. With reading the book, I was blown away because I thought, well, winter here is just winter everywhere. New York, maybe they get a couple more inches, but they still went inside their heated houses whenever they got done playing in the snow, and they were all fine and dandy. That's not the case, as I read in the book. I really love this experience with the hot cup of culture. I am really happy that I did this, and I read this book. I learned a lot about the different cultures. I did not expect to learn what I did. I expected to just read the book, write a report, and be done with it. So that was a great thing to know. One thing that I don't typically experience when reading a book that I was made to read is that I actually enjoyed it. About 2 chapters in, which he went by days in his book, probably about 2 weeks in, I wanted to read it more. I couldn't stop reading it. I wanted to read it on my spare time. I read it at night before I went to bed just to get it done because I was really happy about reading it. I wanted to know what he was going through. One thing I never thought about his family. What's his family thinking? He grew up and he had brothers and sisters. Well, they know, yeah, my brother's a city man, him and his girlfriend, but he rented this cabin. Well, they didn't know half of it because there Rick found a whole new self. He found a whole new side of him that he has never experienced before. My experience with this was that never just say this is a normal assignment that I have to do. Culture's nothing. Culture is a big step. You never know what the person, I'm from North Carolina, so you never know people in South Carolina are going through. You never know people are in California are going through. You never know what people are in Russia are going through. And even not even country, you never know. People that live 2 doors down from me might be in different cultures. They might celebrate different things, go through different things, believe in different things. So nobody really knows what they're going through. You never know what anybody is going through in life. For the cost of this book, the book only costed, I think, $10. So it was a very $10 well spent, because this is one of my favorite books now. If you have any questions regarding any of the book or this assignment, you can contact me by email. That is hbeller@ksu.edu.